All right, y'all, so we are ready to go back into Adobe Audition and actually get some sound files on those tracks. So in the previous video, I gave you a general layout of the workspace in Adobe Audition, and I stressed the importance of knowing where your project folder is going to be located when you first create that multi-track session. In my case, I put it on my desktop. I recommend you do the same thing. Here it is, very easy to locate. When you open up that project folder, you'll see this little icon right here. All we have to do is double click on that, and it should open up Audition and it should load that project. So we are now ready to rock and roll. So there are two ways to get your audio into Audition, and one of them is, again, to import assets that you have collected from elsewhere. In that case, you have over here, you've got the project bin, and you've got the import file function. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And the reason why we are such big fans of having an asset folder is because, y'all, everything is located together in one location. It just makes life a little bit easier for us. Let's go ahead and let's bring all three of those assets in. And just a reminder, two of these files, y'all, the flawed audio file and the music file, those are both located in Canvas in our files section. They are uploaded as practice assets so that you can help to work on your skills and build your confidence. So use them at your disposal, okay? So if I want to use the flawed audio file, all I have to do is drag it over here onto the timeline. And y'all be mindful of where you place it on the timeline. I placed this sound file kind of randomly, but the thing is, wherever you place it, that is how Adobe Audition is ultimately going to export the finished product. So if I were to finish up with this project and export it as is, as you can see, I would have over 30 seconds of just silence here at the beginning. So you want to be mindful of that. Right? So that is how you import your sound files from elsewhere, and we're ready to go ahead and edit this if we would like. In my case, though, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete that off of the track. Obviously, as you can see, because it was loaded into the project bin, deleting it here does not get rid of it here. All right, so if you accidentally delete it, you can bring it right back over. That's no problem at all. But let's go ahead and delete that. Now, the other option that you have, and this is one that will likely be the case for most of you, is to record your audio directly into Audition using your own device, and that's perfectly fine. In order to do that, first things first, you have to have the track selected that you're going to be working with, and in my case, that is the top one up here. And one of the things that you want to do initially is you want to set R to record, all right? And you see that bar that is constantly moving as I'm talking? That is the volume read. And it is telling us what the output volume is going to be for this track if we go ahead and record it. All right. Now, as you can see, the bar, when it's going up, it's getting into that red area there. It means that the input volume is set too high, and this means that I'm going to wind up running into what's called peaking, and that is a scenario where the program is not going to be able to render your audio cleanly. So you're going to end up with a damaged sound file. So if you are checking your audio, which you should do before recording, if it's getting into that red zone there, you need to go ahead and adjust the input volume on your device. So in my case, I'm going to head into my system settings. Let's go into sound and input. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and let's reduce that. See if we can make it a little bit more agreeable. Okay, so that sounds better. So as a rule of thumb, y'all, you want your output volume to be about the 75% range. So this bar here, when you're speaking, you're checking your volume, if it is comfortably in that yellow range right there, you're at about the 75% mark, and you should be good to go for your project. So in my case, I just had to make a quick adjustment, and we are now ready to go. Now, the other thing that you have to do is you have to set the input and the output for when you're doing your recording. So this first option up here, this is specifying the microphone that you are going to be using for your recording. Now, in most cases, it will default to the microphone on your device, but in those rare cases when it does not do that, simply click on this and click on mono, and you should see the system default as the option there, all right? And if you have multiple options, listed here, you'll want to go with the first one. But like I said, in most cases, it will simply default to the device mic. And here, this is your output. All right, so in your case, it's going to be either mix or it will be master. It will be one of those two. All right, so It looks like we are actually all set to go here. So our volume is good. We've set the input and the output. That's all that we really need to worry about right now. And as you can see, y'all, when I press R, it is not actually recording anything yet, and that's because set to record is simply priming Adobe Audition. So until we actually click this button down here, all this is doing is giving us a preview of what our volume is going to be like. So when you're ready to record, just hit this red button down here. And as you can see, that track is now red. That tells us that it is active. It is recording my audio, so you can see very clearly there that it's picking up the sound. When you have gotten your audio recorded, simply press the stop button here. And now it has been re-rendered as green, so now it is a rendered sound file that we can go ahead and we can edit to our liking. So those are the two ways of getting started with your audio in Adobe Audition.